Brought to you by Roverman Productions. Be the difference.
The difference.
Yes, Uncle Evo, good morning.
Handsome. Why do you always respond this way?
The name strikes fear in my heart.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
You're opening the gate for my enemies, so Uncle Evo.
Oh no, Kojo, you don't have enemies.
Oh, we thank God.
No, you don't have enemies. You have people who don't know how to deal with you, but they are not enemies.
Oh dear.
You know, one of the problems in Ghana is that, okay, let me put it this way. You see, have you seen how the very tall people walk in Ghana, especially when they are working with some other people? They bend down, they hunch down.
Yes, they hunch their backs.
Yes, so they don't seem that tall.
Yeah.
And Ghana, those who are very intelligent and who don't make any apology for being intelligent, we don't quite like them because they have not hunched down. You do understand me? They haven't dumped down to make the rest of us feel comfortable. But that is the appeal. That is your attraction. That Kojo is intelligent. Kojo is smart, and he makes no apology for that. And please don't change that. No matter how many blows you receive, that is why we admire you.
Thank you, Uncle Ibo. That's some great encouragement there. I appreciate it.
What do you have in your T-shirt?
Puma, some Jatabi sort of thing. Is trying to come from the back to the front.
Yeah. Is that your spirit animal?
Ugly woman, there, my spirit animal there. I'm sure it's like a parrot too. Sammy says he wants to take what?
This for Jaden.
You take the T-shirt for Jaden. Oh, please, I'll add my singlet. Okay. Jaden there, you can have anything of mine. Uncle about me, spirit animal there. I'm very sure.
Let me do my presentation and go away. In the early days of my driving, I used a car that needed to visit the auto mechanics workshop often. Now, in every mechanic workshop, there was a master and the rest were his apprentices. The work comes to the master. He charges the customer, and then he either assigns a senior apprentice to do it, or he just directs the apprentices on what to do. I don't think that you've used an old car that needed to go to the workshop that often. Did you?
Sure, Uncle Ibu. There's a mechanic who knows my whole life history. We have had far too many conversations. His name is Gideon.
Have you had the joy of having your car being pushed down a slope?
Yes.
Before it will start?
I've had to push it myself before. I never knew I was that strong.
All right, so you understand what I'm talking about. Now, Kojo, this is what I discovered. There were two types of apprentices in every workshop. There's an apprentice who pretends to be very busy on another car when a customer drives in, or he goes into hiding because he's desperate to avoid work. In fact, Kojo, in one occasion, he was working, he pretended he was busy on a condemned car. Because he didn't want to be assigned any task. Then there's a second type of apprentice who comes to you as you drive in and asks, Master, can I help you? What can I do for you? He wants to work. He will still leave the master to charge for the work, but by the time the master comes out of his office, this apprentice would have started the work already. I found that the second type of apprentice the one who runs towards work and embraces work, they master the work very well and eventually go on to open their own workshop and make a success of it. The first type of apprentice who avoids work, he stays an apprentice for a very long time and often leaves without having mastered the job. There is a secret that very few know about, and it is this: work is a blessing. Unfortunately, a lot of people think of work as a curse or a burden. For many people, paradise is where there is no work. When many people think of a good life, they think of a life without work, a life of leisure and fun 24/7. What they did not know is that if they were given that kind of life, they would be most miserable and empty. Because you see, work is a blessing. We know that Adam was put in a paradise, but what was his life like in paradise before the fall? Well, we do not have to guess what his life was like, because the Bible tells us what it was like. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, we read, quote, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it." The Garden of Eden, which was the original paradise, was huge. And here was the responsibility of Adam, to work it and take care of it. That was work, hard work in paradise. Now, if all the responsibility Adam had in paradise was working it and taking care of it, it would have been a big responsibility. But there was more to Adam's life in paradise. In the same Genesis chapter 2, this time verses 19 and 20, this is what we read. "Now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky, including Kojo's parrot. And he brought them to the man to see what he would name them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name." Verse 20. "So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and all the wild birds, the wild animals." We are not told how long it took Adam to finish naming every living creature, but I would imagine it took him days. And then think of the sheer magnitude of the exercise of naming every living creature and remembering what names he had already given, so he did not have to repeat those names. Did he have a system or some database for the names and the creatures? Whatever it was, the point I'm making is that paradise was not a place where Adam slept or relaxed all day. I do not know where the modern concept of paradise being a place of no work came from, but real paradise, the one Adam lived in, had a lot of work to be done on a daily basis. Yes, paradise came with work, and it is the work that makes paradise paradise. Work is a blessing. A state of perpetual ease and no work is hell and not paradise. We need to examine our attitude to work in Ghana. The Apostle Paul, when he established the church in Thessalonica, gave them a rule. You'll find that rule in 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10. It reads, "For even when we were with you, we gave you this rule: the one who is unwilling to work shall not eat." The Apostle Paul knew the secret that work is a blessing. In Ghana, most workers see work as a bother or a curse. Most people go to work and then come up with all kinds of creative ways to avoid working. A lot of workers go to work and ensure that they do as little as they can get away with. If workers were paid strictly according to the number of hours they actually were productive, a lot of workers will be very poorly paid in Ghana, much more poorly paid than we are already poorly paid in Ghana. You see, those who force us to work hard are not our enemies. they do us a favor, whether that is what they intended or not. Work is a blessing. I worked as SNIT in the 70s, and in my department, we had 2 typists who exemplify the 2 types of workers I referred to earlier. Typist 1 would arrive in the morning with the office bus and type just 2 letters and vanish from the office. He would return in time for lunch at the official subsidized canteen. After lunch, he would take a little nap and vanish again. He will return about 30 minutes to closing, type 1 more letter, and then catch the office bus home. Typist 2, on the other hand, worked full blast with only an hour's break in between. I left SNIT for school, and I have not been in touch with either of them, but I would not be surprised if Typist 2 fared much better in life than Typist 1. How do I know that? It is because I know that work is a blessing, and anyone who works well receives his reward. There is a principle in life, and it says that whatever you have not earned cannot be a blessing to you. In fact, what you have not earned will be a snare to you and to your dependents. On this Labor Day, I wish the workers of Ghana well and pray that we will all learn to work better, work well, so that we do not miss the rewards that comes from being faithful with work. And Parrot, that is my presentation for today.
Thank you so much. I love this, clarity about what happened in the Garden of Eden. Adam was meant to work it. And,
yes.
It feeds into this, what you said about the apprentice, because, God made woman to be our helper. So that would mean that
yes.
Eve was Adam's apprentice.
Yes.
I wonder which type of apprentice she was. If she had been in
the type
mechanic.
1, the first type, or the second type.
Yes,
I think it depends on what kind of man the modern Eve marries.
Indeed. That's what determines. I see.
Yes, that's what determines that.
Wow. There's so much to unpick there. Thank you so much for that, Uncle Ebu.
All right, Parrot. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Uncle Ibo. You too. Happy Labor Day to you. Oh, goodness. Yes. And that was food for thought. And that was brought to us, of course, by Roverman Productions. Be the difference. Now, listen, we absolutely want you to have your say today. It's all about you. The people's agenda is what we're doing today. So listen, use the hashtags JoySMS and the people's agenda.